Hello, welcome to the Learning Curve. I'm Marjorie Began. My guest today is Father James Lease, Vice President of Mission for Stonehill College in Easton, Massachusetts. Welcome, Father.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, Marjorie. Thanks.
Stonehill is 25 minutes away from Mansfield,
Indeed.
but not many people know that much about it. And I was wondering if you could give us a little introduction.
I would be happy to. Stonehill was founded in 1948 by the Congregation of Holy Cross, a Catholic religious community of priests and brothers, affiliated also with the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. Our religious community of Holy Cross is not to be confused with that fine Jesuit college in Worcester, which is the College of the Holy Cross that takes its name from the great Holy Cross of Jesus Christ, but not the same institution. So the Congregation of Holy Cross, of which I'm a member, founded Stonehill in 1948, and we're about 2,450 students currently. We have a beautiful 355-acre campus with a variety of programs, a hearty program in the liberal arts generally, but many particular programs that have served our students and our graduates well over time. So it's 93% residential. We draw from all of New England and the Northeast. Some come from a little bit further. I have a nephew at Stonehill who's a junior from Minnesota, of all places, where I'm from originally. So it's a thriving liberal arts college nestled in a beautiful and bucolic location in Easton.
Mm. Now, I know that you have some affiliations with other institutions around the New England area.
We do indeed, and even beyond. We have articulation agreements such that if we don't have a particular program and another school does in the area, we have some ways by which you could do that degree at Stonehill or couple it with some years elsewhere. The largest program we have in this regard, and perhaps the oldest even, though I'm not positive, is a 3-2 program with the University of Notre Dame in engineering. So you'd spend 3 years on the campus at Stonehill and the last 2 at Notre Dame. After 4 years, you'd get your undergraduate degree from Stonehill, and then after the 5th year, you'd get your engineering degree from Notre Dame. So it's a marvelous opportunity. But there are many other articulated agreements with different institutions in the area as well that allow you to either pursue a degree through Stonehill, but taking some courses elsewhere to finish that off and to fill out the degree that we might not have.
That gives people a great opportunity.
It does.
You know, they can have the Stonehill experience, but if you don't have all that they need, they can find it someplace else that you're affiliated with.
Indeed, it's been a great advantage for many of our students, and it's been a great partnership with many of the schools around us. I think we each should all benefit from working together in these ways, and it's a new and enterprising way to deliver education that may once not have been quite so robust, but it's working well for us.
Now, someone doesn't have to be Catholic to go to Stonehill.
Indeed, one does not need to be Catholic. While Stonehill is founded as a Catholic institution, many of our students and faculty are not, and that's as it should be. I think even from the very beginning, our founder in the congregation, Father Basil Moreau, would have said, we will educate all those who need an education, and that's what we do. So we are motivated by the Catholic intellectual tradition and some of the Catholic social teachings, but it doesn't require that anyone be Catholic. And in fact, I think the offerings we have are enriched by the fact that we're Catholic, but does not require that anyone in particular, especially among our students, be Catholic, even as many are.
And they're made to feel very at home
yes.
at Stonehill.
We go to great lengths to make sure everybody knows that coming in, that this is a place of welcome and that it's going to be your home for 4 years, and we want you to delight in it. You know, we'd all like more of our students to pursue matters of faith, whether Catholic or not, but they also have the option not to. So that's the glory of these years for our young people. They can choose to partake of the offerings we have, or we can help to connect them with different religious traditions and denominations in the area. Or they can, you know, sleep in on a Sunday morning, which we know they will. But we want to honor that dignity in each person to make that choice. But we want to offer them the thoughtfulness and the understanding of the opportunity that these years are to deepen in meaning and significance.
And I think that brings us right into the Office of Mission.
Indeed it does.
And I think as Vice President, you can speak on that.
I hope I can. Indeed, we have a number of areas that attend to our mission. Now, I will say the danger of having a vice president for mission is that many on the campus think that, oh, well, that's the job of the mission division to take care of our mission. When in reality, and I think people at Stonehill are aware, we're all a part of the mission of what Stonehill is in educating young people, in helping them to understand that this isn't only about the communication of curricular content, such that they get a degree to get a good job for themselves. It is that, and our students are very successful and the employment rate is very high. But it's also an education in helping our students understand that they have responsibilities as citizens of the world to contribute to the world, whether it be in their own families, in their neighborhoods and home, in their home towns and villages and cities. We see that as important, that part of what it is they are as they leave Stonehill is someone who gives to the community. So throughout their time at Stonehill, there's ample opportunity to engage in all kinds of things outside of the classroom. Courses that we call community-based learning courses that will connect with various nonprofits that do a variety of things throughout the community to serve the needs of the community. But we also have some volunteer programs, some service opportunities. Currently it is spring break at Stonehill, and we have about 10 different trips domestically and internationally that have over 150 of our students traveling throughout the country and the world, offering services in a variety of settings, whether it be in homeless settings or soup kitchens or even building homes, healthcare centers. It's a wonderful opportunity for our students to make a choice to be with people who are in need, which is deeply rooted in our mission as a Catholic institution. So it's been a really remarkable position for me to be able to oversee a number of the areas that attend to the opportunities like that. We also have a magnificent farm at Stonehill, which is a mission operation because all of the produce, about 14,000 pounds of produce this year, is delivered to 4 partner agencies who identify and deliver it to families who live in food deserts, which are areas in the region that are outside of a convenient distance or cost for acquiring fresh vegetables than would otherwise be. And so we find a way to deliver that food to them.
And that's in the area?
It's in the area. It's largely in the area, yes. We contribute to the Easton Food Bank, to a number of, to My Brother's Keeper in Easton, but also to some Father Bill's in Mainspring, some other opportunities to serve the city of Brockton as well. I will say it has become, the farm at Stonehill has also become a very synergistic moment in bringing students and faculty together and staff around volunteering, but also in their investigation and deepening understanding of food access issues and food justice issues, that the reality is that there are people in our own neighborhoods who are going to bed hungry, and we may not even be aware of it. So it raises the consciousness in our students, in our entire Stonehill community, as to the local needs and the ways in which we might be able to meet them.
And that goes right into what Pope Francis has been talking about.
It does indeed. Laudato Si was his recent encyclical, which talked about, and he addressed it to the entire world. He was careful to say that. It wasn't only to the Catholic Church, but he wanted it to be a message to the entire human community, that we have obligations to one another in protecting the climate, in seeing to it that, that we're thoughtful about the ways in which we care for creation, because the people who are most immediately disadvantaged by that decline in our climate are those who are most vulnerable, those living in regions and areas that that will be most immediately affected, likely, in terms of the ways in which those changes will happen.
So the more we can educate people on what they can do, how they can help, simple ways of helping, it engages us all as a community and a world community.
Indeed, indeed. In fact, I really love our mission statement at Stonehill. It speaks first of the fact that we are of the Congregation of Holy Cross, founded and an institution of the Catholic Church, but also of our excellent academic programs and offerings and our honoring of critical inquiry and academic freedom. And then it ends with a flourish to say that we look to develop the whole person and to prepare our graduates to think and act and lead with courage, toward the creation of a more just and compassionate world. And it truly is what drives our mission division, and please God, drives those who graduate from Stonehill to be contributors, as you say, to the human community. I think we all know in our heart of hearts that we have some obligations in this regard, and so I think at Stonehill we're thoughtful about how we best prepare people to think about that, to reflect on it, and then to act on it.
Because I think when you go through college, like I have a daughter in college right now, and you know they're so steeped in their academics that they can sometimes lose that touch that they're part of something greater, and when they leave, it's not just about the job, but it's about who you are and how you're going to be part of the small community that you're going to be living in and the larger, a good citizen of this country and a citizen of the world.
Yes, indeed. You know, we were founded by Father Basil Moreau, now Blessed Basil Moreau, as I mentioned. And so we're not technically of any particular diocese, but we're a religious community that serves in many areas of the world in education. But one of the things that Blessed Basil Moreau said was that we will not educate the mind at the expense of the heart. And it goes to your point about your daughter being in college. We can be consumed, and often are, by the work that we do in the classroom and the effort we make at night and on weekends to attend to our studies, as we should. But it is also the case that we want our students and all students to be formed in a way that moves them in and beyond the classroom to think about who they're becoming. So Moreau's point about we'll educate the mind, but not at the expense of the heart. So we're not only looking to prepare people for a world of work, as we said, but we're also looking to prepare good citizens for the world. And that comes in these moments of service, of opportunities to do an immersion trip somewhere, getting your hands dirty, quite literally, at the farm. We even have a postgraduate service program, the Stonehill Service Corps, that has 2 international sites and 1 in the city of Brockton, where students will give a year of their life after graduation serving in a local nonprofit. So it's really getting a kickstart on the ways in which we hope all of our students will engage in the community very deeply.
Now you just mentioned nonprofits. Realize that you have a nonprofit.
The Center for Nonprofit Management looks to build capacity for local nonprofits. So Stonehill saw some years ago that there were many nonprofits in the area that were quite small, didn't have the resources to attend large national and even regional conferences that entail a great deal of expense. So Stonehill's Center for Nonprofit Management provides a series of programs that allow local nonprofits to come in and to learn about fundraising, about building boards, advisory boards, or boards of trustees, about how to even set up a 501c3. In all the ways that a small nonprofit might benefit from those larger organizations that provide it, Stonehill does that for the local nonprofit community. We've also begun educating our own students in fundraising for nonprofits. So it's called the Developing Fundraising Leaders Institute, DFLI. And it gives students an opportunity to learn from our own development office on the many ways in which they could assist outside of Stonehill other nonprofits, from grant writing to annual gift programs to connecting with communities in a similar way that the college does with its own alumni, but connecting with the community that might be invested in that particular nonprofit. So there are an array of ways in which we're also now reaching our students to have an impact in the nonprofit world beyond their time at Stonehill.
Because that nonprofits are very important. I know here at Cable Access we work with a lot of them.
I'll bet.
And some of them, as you said, are small and they're wanting to grow, but trying to get the resources and maybe don't know which way to go. So what you are doing and helping them do is really quite amazing, you know, and will have an impact on many people's lives.
We're very grateful for the opportunity to do it. I think we've also found that, you know, someone will come in hoping to start a nonprofit, and we can connect them with some people who are already doing something very similar, and then they can join efforts and add to the ways in which they're providing services already. It's an attempt not to sort of reinvent the wheel with every desirous heart that longs to meet a human need. And So that has been also a wonderful opportunity, sort of a clearinghouse for the ways in which the wider community is trying to connect.
Now, are there other areas that the mission covers that you'd like to tell us about?
I appreciate that. As I said at the outset, we're all responsible for mission, and so some of the programs we do are to help people sort of raise awareness internally that we're all about this effort together. We have a new employee orientation program that gives people the opportunity to learn more about our foundations, our history, and of the motivations of the Congregation of Holy Cross in education. But we also have ongoing conversations and lectures about different things related to the Catholic intellectual tradition and to the Catholic social teachings that have become important and motivate us in terms of our desire to do service and to provide for human need. So there's a whole variety of ways in which we're connecting with faculty, staff, and students that, as I say, don't require that anybody be Catholic, but that have us all kind of coming together as a community. Whatever the motivations of each person who participates in our programs and lectures and service opportunities, in the end we work together for one common good, and that's been a great blessing for Stonehill. For our community, as we work together, we grow together, and I think we recognize the need in one another to be supportive and to be sharers in this journey together. So it's been a wonderful blessing to have the job I do and to be able to do what I do.
It sounds like it, and it sounds like you're very excited about what you do.
I do. I'm very
And
excited.
I've had the opportunity to visit Stonehill on many occasions, and it seems to be a wonderful institution, and one that will give a person an opportunity to look into themselves and to see what place they are going to have in this world once they get that wonderful diploma, you
Right,
know,
right.
that there's more to it than just the job. We have a community that we live in, and a community that we are responsible to be, you know, part of, and whether it be our country, and the world is becoming so small with communications now, you know, that it really is one world.
It really is.
And when you, when the astronauts come back, you know, and they talk about it, and they look down at the world, and they see this beautiful, beautiful planet, and how we have to take care of it, and how we have to live together
Indeed.
and
And our
protect
many
it.
differences sort of fall away when you realize we're one human community. You articulated well enough that we may have actually hire you in our office for mission.
I'd be honored. Thank you so much for coming.
It's been a great pleasure, Marjorie. Thank you.
And I hope if there's something else that you need to tell us in the future, that you'll feel very at ease to come back and talk to us about it.
I'd be honored to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for being with us today. And I hope you tune in next time to The Learning Curve.